Okay, good morning. It is March 21st, 2020, the only March 21st, 2020 you will ever get. And the recording is flashing, so that means this is working. And the very first thing I want to do is take a picture of us because I want the world to know. So wave, say hi, cheese, give me your best smile, cheese. I want the world to know that this sisterhood is real and legit and honest to goodness, even on a Saturday morning. So welcome again. I think everybody knows who I am. I'm a little bit kind of make my presence known. Alara's tapping her face. So I will give my official introduction because it's fun. I am Executive Senior Sales Director, Jen Albertini. And you are a part of a group right now that we call our Future All-In National Area. And this has been a beautiful work in progress. But most importantly, this has been a beautiful bonding of sisterhood and figuring things out. And this is exactly where we are today, figuring things out. So I am crazy, crazy lucky that I get to support myself actually with thousands of amazing women, but 5 of them that get to, whether they like it or not, be my daughters in this business. And they have worked together and they've actually brainstormed through their own level of what they think is important and what they feel powerful about. And they're going to bring you segments of inspiration, training, and if I know them well, a little bit of laughter, a little bit of humor, a little bit of love. And that's what we have for you here on this Saturday morning. Many of us would have been sitting in Baltimore or somewhere at Career Conference this weekend and next weekend. But due to everything going on, we are making lemonade out of lemons and we are coming together here virtually instead, okay? So I ask that you stick with us for the next couple of hours and then we're gonna have lots of other activities then for you to take with you going forward. So I wanna start off because one of the things that happens at Career Conference is recognition. And here's something that's fun, as Ali cheers, here's something that's fun. When we are at Career Conference, we're sitting there with 3,000, 4,000 other women. So guess what? Unless you're a really big fish, you're kind of just a little fish in a big pond. But because of this technology and this Future All-In National Area, I get to praise even more of you with recognition, okay? So I can't put together, obviously everything, but I do want you to know that I want to tell you a little bit about the women who are still making goals happen, because no matter what today is, everyone has at least till June 30th, 2020 to make sure that they are making their seminar dreams a reality. And actually right now, Career Conference is just a checkpoint for that system. So I asked the directors to put together a list of names for me so that I could give a shout out on this recorded Zoom to some of you who are really setting the bar of excellence high, okay? So the first thing I'd like to do is I would like to announce the names of those who are on target for Princess Court of Sales. What that means is that they have at least 10,000 in retail production in as of today. We actually let it go through today, not just February 29th. So the women I'd like to tell you are Michelle V. from Sherry Quandel's unit, Heather Skelton from Melissa Dutka's unit, Deb Eckenhoff from Melissa Dutka's unit, Chrissy from Laura's unit, Pam from Laura's unit, Jill from Laura's unit, Carla from Alyssa O's unit, Allison from Alyssa O's unit, Melissa Garner-Perez, Kathy, Susan, Jill, Tracy Z, and Montine, all from my personal unit. So yay, shout out, everybody give some claps. I'll clap with noise, you all clap with silence. So yay, yay, yay. If I missed your name, please let me know, because I did pull this together at the last minute. The directors worked with me through some things I had going on this week, and what I was asking of them kind of had a quick turnover. So if I missed you by chance, number 1, accept my apology. And number 2, I want to give you the proper shout out. So make sure to reach out to me after this Zoom. You had to have at least 10,000 retail in. So let me tell you what that looks like. 10,000 retail puts you on target for having 20,000 retail on June 30th. That earns you a prize direct from Mary Kay Corporate. Yay, at Dallas at seminar. It also can potentially show you the momentum to hit $40,000 retail, which earns you real diamond rings from Mary Kay, walking across stage and earning actual real diamond rings at seminar in July of 2020. So wherever you are on the scoreboard, let me remind you of something. A little thing happened on March 1st. A little exciting thing happened on March 1st. You know what it was? We all woke up to double credit. So everything you're doing now is doubling towards what your goals are for this seminar year. So congratulations again, my friends. The next thing I'd like to recognize are people that are on target for Princess Court of Sharing. The Princess Court of Sharing means that not only are you a stellar seller, it also means that you have loved on enough women and helped introduce them to this business opportunity. And how we track that is Princess Court at seminar is 12 qualified. All I asked for right now was those of you that just had 6 team members, 6 new team members since July 1st. And those achievers are Allie from Laura's unit, Jill from Laura's unit, and Melissa GP from my unit. So congratulations again, noisy claps, air claps, awesome, awesome, awesome. So here's the deal, guys. Did I say anything about double credit yet? Raise your hand if you heard me say the 2 words double credit. Anybody hear that? Anybody hear that? Okay, so that does count as well with Court of Sharing. So every human you add who's over 18 right now, this month, and she collectively does 600 wholesale by June 30th, March, April, May, June, you help her work her business. She counts as 2 people, okay? I am not known as a math genius. Don't make an eye roll, Alyssa. Oh, I am not a math genius, but I do know double, okay? So I will tell you, any humans right now who are potentially able to join this business and want to know more, I would be talking to them, and a lot more about that coming in a couple minutes. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to acknowledge those of you who would have been at Career Conference. They will still be mailing you your jewelry, so don't worry about that. But these are the women who would have earned the jewelry and will be getting it in the mail. They are none other than Michelle V, Sandy, Pam, Katie, Allison, Carla, Kathy, Vicki, Susan, Jill, and Tracy Z. And that means in the month of December, oh, I forgot the clapping. Sorry, forgot the clapping. In the month of December, in the month of January, and in the month of February, they placed totals of $600 orders each month to earn all of this B stuff. This is this month's, which dare I say is my favorite. I know, I love it, I love it. And it's heavy, girls, let me just tell you. Okay, so the B is where it's at, right? We know that, we know that. So congratulations to you, my friends. And let me just tell you, I did not give shout outs to the directors right now because you know what? They're awesome. They are the speed of the leaders, the speed of the gang. They are, you know, working when they need to and doing everything that they can. But mostly right now, what this Zoom is about you and supporting you and acknowledging your effort, okay? So I'm just gonna go on the record right now telling you that your directors earn pretty much everything because that is how they work this business. That is why they are where they are. So congratulations to my amazing, beautiful daughters. Even though their names aren't listed, we decided it was more important to give a shout out to your names and let the world know that you are the ones that are lifting us. Because you know what? A rising ship, what? Lifts, a rising ship lifts all, no, a rising tide lifts all ships. Yes. So we know that we are the rising tide and we are lifting all of you with us. So thank you for that. So really quick before I go on to my next segment here, if you are currently a red jacket with 3 active team members, would you give us a big wave? A big wave with 3 active team members. Congratulations, my friends. Yay. You would be the ones donning those beautiful red jackets at Career Conference, standing out like Mary Kay wanted. She wanted to look out and see a sea of red. And if that is not your current position, but you know the power of that position, your sales director is excited to work with you because new styles of red jackets are launching pretty soon. So you can get the current one and wear that like a boss, or you can do the work right now to be a red jacket and you can order the new one when it comes in. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be ways that you can earn them as well. So stay tuned for that. And if you were a star consultant last quarter from December 16th through March 15th, can you give a big, huge wave? Big, huge wave from all the star consultants from last quarter. So how about a thumbs up if you loved hearing from Jordan? Did you love Jordan's message, right? She is just, she's youthful. I did ask her how old she is. She's 28. She's youthful. She's amazing. And I hope you enjoyed that. And I'm asking my sales directors who they want to hear from next, who they want to bring a message to you. And Jordan said, by the way, that she's never heard of another future area coming together with a star call like that. So I'm really proud of you guys for working for those kind of things, because we learn from others, right? That's what we do. And this month, more than ever, we are focused on being connected. So again, I would like to welcome you to the next couple hours that you're going to spend with us. And I'm going to tell you just really quickly a little bit about the flow. So the flow, if you didn't see the little menu, is going to be each sales director taking approximately 15 minutes, and they're going to share with you a topic that they chose, something that I knew that was going to be a little God whisper saying, this is what you can share right now, and this is what you can do. Now, I do want to make one little note to you all. Right now, I'm claiming this Zoom, and you, wherever you are, I am claiming that you are embraced in the pink bubble. You may hear some reality things. You may hear some, these are things that are relevant right now. But what we want to give you, or we want to give you tools and ideas and ways to navigate today, but also these things that are going to benefit you in 2 weeks, in 4 weeks, in 8 weeks, in 2 months. Wherever we happen to be in the future, we want you to be equipped Mary Kay style. Is that fair? Is that good to say? Everybody good with that? Okay. All right. So we are all safe. We are all connected. We are all smiling. And I'm really, really excited to bring to you the program that we put together for you. So without further ado, I would like to introduce your very first sales director who's going to speak to you. Her name is Jen O'Connell. She is affectionately known as my scary neighbor, although she's not scary one single bit. But I used to prejudge Jen. I used to look at Jen and think she had it all together. And I used to prejudge Jen and say, oh, why would she be interested in something like this? She has a job. Well, through the safety of Facebook, I reached out with her with a private message. She became a customer, and she became a consultant, and she became an offspring sales director. What if I had let my limiting beliefs stop me from talking to Jen O'Connell? So I love her. She's smart. She is one of the people that is mandated to continue to report to work. So please, please say an extra prayer for our Jen O'Connell as she comes on to talk to you about navigating your feelings. Okay, Jen, you're on.
Okay, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, if I can talk. So welcome everybody. It's good to see everybody's faces, and I hope you are all staying healthy. So I get to talk about navigating feelings. So this is a huge thing because there are so many feelings going on right now. You know, just everything that's going on in the world. So we have our own feelings, our family's feelings, our customers' feelings. So we kind of need to navigate through all of that, okay? So I have notes, so I'm going to read off of them a little bit just to keep me going. So this is completely new for everybody. We have not been in this kind of situation really ever, that we've had to kind of stay at home. So know that we are all in this together. It's not that somebody knows something more than each other. So this is new waters that this big ship is going through. Okay. So think about it. There's so many feelings that are going on right now. Some people have fear. Some people have anxiety. Will there be enough toilet paper? What's going on in the world? Some people are just overwhelmed. Like right now, some of us are going to work, learning how to homeschool our children, or if it's our grandchildren, or where are our kids going because they're not in school. How do I keep, everything going? Constantly cleaning, just that overwhelming sense of everything going on. Okay. Some people are enjoying that they are home with family and get this time. This is sort of if you want to say, like a God intervention, that we now get this family time and this bonding that we normally wouldn't have. So we need to sort of embrace that a little bit, okay? So there's just so much stress going on. And, we can be going through something in 5 minutes. We can go through all of these feelings in 5 minutes. It could be a week. Everybody goes through things differently. Everybody deals with things differently. So we need to sort of keep that in the back of our minds. Um, you know, what was I going to say? So we're kind of in our businesses feeling, how are we going to see faces? How are we going to see new faces? How am I going to make this work? So we've kind of learned through this past week that it's virtually and things really don't change. We can still hold the same skincare classes, the same beauty sessions. We're just not physically in front of them. We're virtually in front of them. So really for us, it doesn't change. I had a customer message me and say, I need this foundation. Are you still able to get it? And I'm like, yeah, like we're still working. Like, but these are things that people aren't realizing that we can still provide this service to them. There's people out there freaking out that maybe are using a different skincare or they're using different makeup and they may not be able to get it because like Kohl's or Boscov's or the big stores wherever they go are closed. Welcome, Mary Kay. So think about that. Like people are afraid of those things, okay? So realize that what you're feeling, your customers are feeling, your family, but they may not be, you may have some fear or frustration. They may be angry with what's going on. So you kind of need to know your audience and your customers just personally too to know how to deal with them, how to approach them, okay? So we sort of need to be that positive light. We always talk about, um, not putting the negative things on social media. So I've been posting every day in all of my groups just something positive because you never know who needs to hear it. Even if it's one person that you're touching, it puts a smile on their face and it may change their whole outlook. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about feelings wheels and things like that. But before I get into it, most of you have seen this, and I'll post this so your directors can, but I'm going to read you something. And just kind of think about this and keep it in the back of your head. It's it. Maybe she needs me. Okay? So it had been a long day, and I was finishing a task. As I hurried past her, that little voice said, ask. Ugh, not today, I told myself. I'm tired and it shows. Besides, I could look foolish and it's likely she'll say no. While drifting off to sleep that night, I saw her face again. I wondered what her life was like, her dreams, her needs, her pain. What if she'd been praying for a friendly word or a smile, the chance to meet somebody that would go that extra mile? What if she'd be looking for a break, an open door? Was this the opportunity that she'd been praying for? I saw the cars she would not drive, the ring she would not wear, because I would not risk myself to stop, to ask, to share. So what if I offered her was not her cup of tea? That was a choice for her to make. How selfish could I be? When all my dreams are realized, I don't want to feel regret for the lives I didn't touch and change, the no's I didn't get. Oh, let me live the true go give and let my mission be not do I need her, but maybe she needs me. So just kind of think about that in the back of your head. We don't know what other people are going through. That mom who's not a stay at home mom and is now teaching her kids, she just might need an outlet, just time for herself. So just kind of think about that in the back of your head. So we have this thing called the feelings wheel. And again, I'll post this. This is kind of for new directors, so I'm going to kind of adapt it. But we all go through this sort of feelings wheel in our businesses, okay? So, hold on. So, there's also kind of, I'm going to intermix the feelings wheel and the whole 7 signs of grief, okay? So, initially, when this all came out, we all had to be in, we were in sort of a sense of shock. It was that, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? What's going to happen? Okay. And we've sort of navigated through that. So we're already kind of past that. You know, it's that initial paralysis of bad news. Then we kind of go through that denial phase. Okay. Trying to avoid the inevitable. Okay. So we're kind of just frustrated, the fear of the unknown. Okay. So you want to get through that and you want to either expand your comfort zone. So frustration always precedes growth or retreat. So imagine a fork in the road. When frustration hits, you can either take the growth path or you can take that fear and regret path. But we always want to choose that growth. There's always room to learn and grow. Then fear sets in. You know, right now people are thinking, do I have enough food? Do I have enough toilet paper? Do I have enough cleaning supplies? Like, there's people out there that have fear of, a lot of us work other jobs and some of us can't go to work or our significant others can't go to work. How am I going to afford things? How am I going to pay rent? So there's that huge, huge fear that people don't know what's going to happen. Okay, fear is I can't do it. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe you're sitting there right now thinking, well, how can I do this Mary Kay business? You know, I just started a couple months ago. You know, I'm supposed to be around people. This is when you need to lean on all of us, your sisters, your sales directors. You need to think about what's going on. Then you probably get angry. You know, like, why are all these people stealing toilet paper? Why do they need 25 steaks? You know, that stuff's going on. But you're just angry about what's going on in your business. Maybe you were doing really, really well, and now, boom, it's like you hit the wall, and what's going to happen? Okay, so anger is just that outpouring of bottled up emotion. And that's never good for us physically, mentally, to have anger. That's when we can get sick too. Okay, so you have to have that clear mental focus. Okay, I just want to read where I was at. So we always, like we said, always want to avoid that negativity. Okay, then you have bargaining. So you're seeking a way out. You're kind of coming through this wheel onto the upside. Okay, you can have depression. You're realizing the inevitable. We don't know how long we're going to be in this sort of whatever's going on, this social distancing and isolation. And then we've tested. So we're trying to think of solutions. We all know now we're doing virtual parties. The NSDs have given us ways to navigate through this, okay? People at home are trying to figure out schedules for homeschooling or who's watching the kids, when are people going to work. So they're testing in their own lives. And then we finally accept it. Okay, this is the new norm. And we make that pivot and we have to do this. So, you know, somebody may not be able to work in our home, but we are still right now very fortunate with Mary Kay that we can still provide for ourselves, for our family, for our customers. Okay. So always figure out that we have something positive. I always go on, even in my group, and just give them something positive to do. Just fun little games, something that's going to uplift them. Okay. Just if you can do something to put a smile on their face, it may change their day. You know, Mary Kay always said, dress up, show up to go up, getting a shower. Like, we need to take care of ourselves first, whether it's putting on your favorite diamond earrings and walking around the house. If that makes you feel good, it's going to lift your spirits. See, Jen has it. If you're positive, you're going to feel better. You're going to stay healthy, but then you can spread that to other people. Just because you're not physically with them, there's a way that we can show the positivity of Mary Kay, what she made to uplift those around us. Okay, so we've all seen this as well. It is the bath. Okay, so we need to take a bath. we need to be healthy for ourselves. So what is the positive mental bath? So the B is to get one new booking a day. If it turns into 2, if it turns into 3, keep going. We all know when we get bookings, that excitement, that just surge of positive energy that we get. It keeps us motivated and going. The A is saying your positive affirmations. Before we even turn on the news, because there's obviously so much bad stuff going on, look at something, find something, whether it's reading a Bible verse, whether it is, looking at positive affirmations, reading something that you find true, do that. It's going to just totally change your whole mindset. T is the listening to your top directors, your national sales directors, their CDs, their motivational things on our Mary Kay Education website. You need to breathe that in, okay? And then H is talking to your director, whether it's a Voxer, whether it's an email, whether it's a text message, whether it's actually talking to them. You always need to go up, okay? So every day you do these, first thing, and it's going to change that sort of mindset, okay? And I have 2 minutes. So, what do I want to say? Just think about when you're engaging on the social media. Just funny things, whether it's a picture of your animal, whether it's something, it doesn't have to be Mary Kay related. And also realize there's some people that aren't working and they don't know where their next paycheck is going. So we don't want to come to them as a sale and selling things. So think about things that you can do. Like right now, they're doing things like I did the Mirror Me app and had them take pictures and post them. And then I gave away an item that they wanted for 50% off. It's not hurting me, but it's actually helping them too. If they need something, they can get it and it's saving them money. Okay, just think of fun things. A picture of your kids, a picture of anything, just something uplifting. So they know that we're not just out here selling. We need to be that positive light. So the last thing is just for you to think about during this time is a little poem called Don't Quit. So when things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're traveling seems very uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh. When care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is odd with twists and turns, as every one of us eventually learns, and many a fail turns about. When he might have won, yet he stuck it out. Don't give up, though the pace seems slow. You may succeed with another blow. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the clouds of doubt. And you never can tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems so far. So stick to the fight when you're hardest hit. It's when things seem worse that you must not quit. So that is all I have. So I hope that gave you something and that kind of gets you to shift your mindset. So, thank you.
Yay, yay. Can you hear me, Jen? Am I back on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So thank you for that. I know you are navigating school at home with the kids, mandated as a worker with the elderly population, which I assume Mike is also mandated working?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yep.
And yesterday she said between going to work and homeschooling the kids, she was dropping off facial bags because she has 2 virtual parties booked this weekend, and putting this together, because I really did ask the directors in the last 24 hours for help, because I had to navigate some of my own stuff earlier in the week. So thank you for that, Jen. Amazing, amazing. And I love everything you said. I took lots of notes. And here's the thing too, guys, as a community, should you have a question specifically for Jen, she's there for you. We are all connected. So if you need a cell phone number to text, if you need find her on Facebook, she wants to help you navigate through what she just talked about. Okay? All right. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Jen. Okay. Next up is our Alyssa D. So Alyssa D is my Jersey director, doesn't pump her own gas. And Alyssa, again, we're not giving shout outs to all the directors specifically, but I want you to know that she's officially been a director in our Future National area 1 solid year. and she hit every single mark as a new director, earning $3,000 extra in bonuses because of putting blinders on and working smart when she knew to work smart. So Alyssa is strategic. She's a really good thinker. She definitely has a lot of information to share, and she's one that has no problem communicating with anybody through Voxer, through phone calls. 100% I can tell you she would be there to support any questions you have. And she's been in this business well over a decade. So if you have questions, definitely know that you can reach out to my Alyssa D. So the topic she's going to unmute and cover with you is called making the connection to building the relationship. Okay, Alyssa D, you're on.
Thank you. Thank you. So hello, everyone. Good morning. I think my glasses are reflecting really bad right here, but that's okay. So a couple of things that we're faced with, like Jen O was talking about, is to be meeting with people, right? So one of the ways we can meet with people is virtually, and with samples or without. I don't know how many of you have seen the Facebook Go Kit. If you haven't, it's really a lot of information. You don't want to get overwhelmed by it. There's a table of contents in here on the first page, so you can just go directly to what you want to go to, because otherwise you very well can get overwhelmed. So there's different ways to do virtual appointments, but we're also going to be getting back in the near future. I'm hoping, I'm believing that where we can do things in person as well. So, and that's our traditional, and that's kind of what we're going to go from. So if you've been doing traditional appointments with people, then you can, then you're really going to use the same kind of approach and questions you're going to ask and things like that when you're meeting with them virtually, by phone, by FaceTime, by Skype, by Zoom, by Facebook Live, whatever it is. And so this just kind of navigates through. There's a lot of good scripts as to, you know, whether you're going to use them live or, you know, you can adapt them for in-person versus not in person. So one of the ones that, so let me just kind of lead this in. So the connection is, be the connection is the theme for March, right? So we want to be the connection from the, not just meeting them, right? You're gonna, however you meet people, or maybe it's someone you have their card and you just called a couple times, or maybe you didn't call them because you were nervous. Well, guess what? Now's the time to get bold, because what's the worst they can do? Unfriend you? You don't really know them. Who cares, right? You can ask them to friend you, and you can ask if you can, you know, when you're on social media, you can actually ask them to friend you on social media. So if you're on social media with them, that's fine. If you're not, that's also fine. So however you have a connection with them, whether you are on Facebook with them or Instagram, you can ask them if you can text them. If you only have a cell phone number, you can ask, may I call you, or friend me on Facebook, or both, or Instagram, whatever your social media of choice is. So if you so however you connected with them before, you can use those people to meet more people. So as National Sales Director Emeritus Linda Tupin says, you can turn 1 into 5, 5 into 25, and keep on going, right? And so on and so on. So for those of you who are as old as I am, I know I don't look it because of Mary Kay, but all jokes aside, I mean, really, one person can give you 5 referrals, and then those 5 can give you 5, and that's 25, and so on and so on and so on. So that old commercial, you know, and so on and so on, it just multiplies, right? So you can see it in front of your face. So that's the connection expanding itself. So when you're going to be the connection, you're going to now connect them to feeling good about themselves. So to that feelings wheel, right, that Jen just went through, and the mental bath. These are people you can contact, so, and connect with. First thing you're going to say is everyone in your family okay? Because you really, if you're talking right now, I mean, in the future, of course, you know, it's always good to ask, everything good, or is now a good time to talk? So it's just a different spin on that. So there are a lot of ways to book the appointment. So once you book them and just say, can I borrow your face virtually? And you can ask, you can tell them you're in a challenge. You're always in a challenge for 30 faces a month, because that will get you everything you want. However you book them, now you've made a connection to get together with them, whether it's virtually or later on in person. There are a couple different ways to do that. So you can either send them samples if you can decipher what they're interested in, like, are you more interested in skincare or makeup? Or what do you use for skincare right now? Or if you had given them a sample, you can follow up on that. Then again, connecting with them or reconnecting. So then you can book the party. So now you've got the party, and you go through the party the same way you normally would. So you're basically going through the flip chart that we all have. And if you don't have it, download it, because it's electronic also. And you can even post pictures from that throughout your appointment with them, or just talk through them if you're just doing something via the phone. Or if you're not tech savvy, that's also another way. So so the next thing, you're going to go through the party, and of course throughout it you're going to talk about their follow-up at least 7 times, because that's what we do. And even before we get to that, just remember, if you don't connect with people right away, you're going to connect faster now than ever before. So I would at least try to connect with every contact you have now, because you're going to have a lot higher chance of getting them on the phone live, or responding via text or via social media, personal messages and things like that, because most people are home, or they're having to be with their families more, or whatever, which of course you don't want to take away from their family time. So you're going to always ask if they're when's a good time. If now is not a good time, when's better. Remember, the bulk of appointments or connections made are on the 5th to the 12th time you've attempted to contact them. Only, I don't know, it's like 4% you're going to get before the number 5, right? Only 4% of people you're going to actually connect with on the 4th try. So you want to at least make 6 to 8 attempts with every single person before you give up on them for 2 months, not forever, but for 2 months. If they say no, never, that's different than no, not now. So now you're into the party, you're going to mention the follow-up, and you're going to continue to mention that throughout. And based on their responses, whether it's a Facebook party or it's an individual, based on how they're responding to you or comments they're making, and remember, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, so we want to ask questions that are going to elicit responses throughout it, so that we can get a handle on what they're interested in, so we're not boring them with stuff that they don't want to hear about or don't care about. So asking questions is a key, which leads me to the close, right? So once you get to the end of this appointment, so if you're working with samples, they're trying them on their face and you're trying them on your face and whatnot. If you're in person, then obviously your face is done and you're instructing them and helping them through how to put everything on their face, or their hands or their feet or their body, depending on what type of party it is. Because remember, we have products for all of that, as well as fragrances. So remember, throughout you're going to be mentioning the follow-up. So at the end, you're going to post whatever closing sheet your director uses or you use. We all are independent contractors, but your director typically will have the best advice for you, because she'll probably know you better than anyone else. You're going to post your closing sheet if you're doing something virtual. If not, you're going to hand it out and have them start looking at it. Or if you're using the placemats the company gives you, you're going to have them circle, follow the flip chart, have them circle what they're interested in if time and money were no objects. You're going to basically say thank you. Thank you for participating. And if you have this Facebook Go kit, there is something on page 11. I had these marked, which tells us exactly, this one is working with samples, right? But this would also apply for a lot of other things. So you're going to do a table close. So it's everyone that's there, like you normally would, and have people comment with what they're interested in. So again, now if it's a group, now you're getting what everyone has really been interested in throughout what you've presented. And you're not going to do a full-blown skincare and makeup at once. You're going to want to leave room for follow-ups, like I said before. So you're going to either do skincare or makeup, or specific, eyes, or specific lips or something like that, or contouring or brows. So you're going to do the table close like you normally would, have people comment with what they're interested in, and treat it like a normal appointment. So you're going to ask each guest that is interested in taking products home or having you send them, right? So if it's in person, it's taking them home. You're going to ask, if this is virtual, can we have a 3-minute follow-up phone call to finalize the invoice? Because that allows you to have a conversation with them about how everything felt, how does their face feel and all that. So I can actually go through what that sounds like. How does your face feel and all of that. So I'm actually going to go through that really quickly. So this is just the follow-up. Hold on one second. Let's see, page 18. Here we go. So closing out the party. This is for virtual, and then I'm going to quickly go through what you would do in person, which is very similar. So go over and post what you would normally use as your closing sheet. Like I said, ask them to comment sold on what items or sets they would like. So if you're doing like a QVC type party, like you're just posting products and descriptions and things like that, which you don't even have to be face on for, you can do that. Or even you can just kind of start listing the things in individual comments if it's a Facebook Live or something like that, or even in a Zoom, you can list the individual products that you had them try, and have them comment under sold dash whatever item it is, under each item, to have them let you know what they want. And again, you're going to ask for that 3-minute phone call follow-up afterwards to finalize their invoice. That way they're not nervous about posting any credit card information or payment information and things like that, because people do get nervous about that. And then you can figure out with them whether it's Venmo or it's PayPal or it's ProPay, or maybe if it's a current customer or someone you've sold to before, maybe you have their credit card information on file, or maybe they're going to send you a check, and when you get the check, you're going to send the products, or drop them off, or maybe they can leave you a check in an envelope and you can pick them up. So those are ways to collect payment, which I know is important for all of us. We are in this to make money. You're always going to throw in some extra samples and things like that, maybe even a free product for them to try, because remember, you want to get them on more products. So something you're going to post or say to them is, thank you all so much for joining me today. I'm going to go back through the comments, and we'll be creating your invoices to text you. Remember that you can buy with confidence, because Mary Kay always offers 100% satisfaction guarantee. That's one of the many reasons women love our brand. So that's a very general comment. Now, personally, I don't give money back, but I do offer an exchange anytime. So I say that, never stuck with anything in Mary Kay. You can always exchange it for something else. There's no time limit in Mary Kay, which is the absolute truth. When you do a product replacement, you don't even have to get the same product back. So if some of you are new and you don't know that, you can just get whatever you need back, if you have something that they need already in stock. So then you can also say, I'll be personally reaching out to each of you to find out how your experience was. So if you have any questions or need more information, I'd be happy to discuss it when we chat. So now you're having a live conversation. That is your open door, right? So now if you're in person, of course, you already have that, which is awesome. So, so here's where it might be different. So you're also going to post something about, again, thanks very much for being part of the event. You're just going to say, okay, I just need to get your feedback. Thank you for coming. Did you have fun? Number 2, how does your face feel? And if you're doing this, like if you're speaking it, you're going to touch your face, because they're going to touch their face, and you're nodding yes, and they're going to nod yes, right? There really is a difference, right, between what was before and what is now. So was this virtual format fun to do from home? So if this is a virtual appointment, you're going to ask that. As a participant tonight, you will get a gift with any purchase of a set, and you can say whatever your set is there or post it, and then take a look at our set sheet. So you may have sent them ahead a set sheet, or you will have posted it. Like I said, you're going to post whatever your closing sheet is. Now, and you're basically going to say what I said before. So if everything was free tonight, what would you take, right? Because that's a key. That is her interest. And that may be a lead to share with her about the opportunity. If what she ends up buying is either nothing or very little or something small, you can ask, do you have something else you're finishing up first? When might that be finished? Things like that. So a little pro tip they give us here is it may take following up 3 or 4 times or more over the course of the next 4 days to figure out her order, right? Because she's going to be sidetracked. She's maybe homeschooling her kids, or maybe she's just not responding because she's just in whatever cycle and the emotional cycle that she is. Basically be patient and check back in several times. So you're gonna have to be assertive and check back in. You're gonna set calendar appointments with these people to check back in, because they will be distracted, but it doesn't mean they're not interested. So your job is to be a professional reminder, right? So you're gonna be assertive, not pushy, and there is a difference. So ultimately your goal is to get her to say one of 3 things. I want to order, I want to join your team, I'm not interested in anything, right? So those are the keys right there. And with everyone, you're going to ask for referrals. Personally, for anyone that's going to give me 5 referrals, I normally give them a mini hand cream. At this point in time, I may give them a full-size hand cream, or maybe even a lip protector, sunscreen, SPF 15, because those are low-cost items to us, or maybe even an eyeshadow. It depends what she's interested in, but I would give them something more significant right now. And again, it's not really costing you anything if they're purchasing, or if they're giving you 5 referrals, that's 5 more people you get to contact, and they're a warm lead. Okay, so that's so just a really quick a really quick close. You can touch your face. How does your face feel? What did you think of the Miracle Set or whatever skincare they tried? Would you like to get started on that today? And they're going to say yes or no. Okay, great. So so what did you think of? And you're going to list out everything that they tried. And then you're going to say, great. And you're going to, and is there anything else? Is there anything else? Is there anything else? Until she says no. You can total it out, take her money, and then you're going to ask, so for your follow-up, would you like to do it virtually or in person, one-on-one? The small groups are still okay for now. That's up to you, what you offer. You have to be comfortable with it. And then the last thing after that is, great. If they give you referrals, now they have a invite list to have a party. You can say, I can do you as much as I can do, a few people, follow up on whatever she likes. And then their last question is, so in a million years, do you ever think you could do what you saw me do here today? Squirt a few things in a tray and put it on their face and ask what they think of it. I literally say it just like that. So what do you think? And that leads you to sharing. And that's my talk for today. Happy sharing.
And I'm sure everybody couldn't write fast enough to ask those questions, but that is why this is recorded. And again, if you want, somebody did ask about the Facebook Go Kit. Some directors have already posted it. Some have not, if it hasn't been introduced yet through your direct unit. But I know all directors will be taking pieces of it, or we all have access to get it to you if you want to see it in print. It's a lot of pages, but the directors have access to that for you. So thank you for reminding of that, Alyssa D. And how about a little prize giveaway before our next director? Are you ready? So I put everybody's name into this app. Okay, so I'm going to start it. So this is a free app, and this is how you can pull names. And then when it stops, I hit that. And the winner is, who is it? Carla! Carla! Okay, so that's the first. I'm going to reload the list, and there's going to be more prizes. So that's what we do at Career Conference. Should I sing? Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Okay, so I would now like to introduce you to none other than Laura Asaf. Laura, we are blessed to have the access to Laura, because Laura is, not only is she an engineer, not only is she a mom of 4 boys, not only is she a military wife, not only is she a Mary Kay top sales director that earned 2 cars within 6 months, she is a certified life coach. So navigating through all of our problems is exactly her expertise. And unfortunately, she has to deal with me a lot because she lives in my town. We have the same zip code. So I would like to hand it off to Laura to help you deal with managing your mind through challenging times. There you go, Laura.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Jen. And it is so fabulous to see everybody on and just plugging in to all of this goodness. So I just want to congratulate all of you for making the time. Even though everybody's home, everybody has lots they can be doing. So I completely get it. And I know that sometimes it is, well, not even sometimes, often, it's more challenging to take the time away when you're home than it is to get in your car and drive and be somewhere else. So it is definitely challenging for sure. So we're very, very proud of all of you. So first of all, I do just want to talk about what goes on in our mind. And so, obviously out in the world, there is a lot we cannot control. And I think there's just a couple of things about that. So first of all, that's really true all the time. But we're really seeing it now because it's so in our faces what we can't control. Stay home, don't come to work, don't go to the restaurants, don't, all those things. But every single day, we're not in control, right? And so if nothing else, this is giving us lifelong strategies, because at the end of the day, all we have is today. That's all we have. That's all we're guaranteed. And so I choose to see the blessings in what we're going through because it will make us stronger. Okay, there's a song and the line, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? And so for sure, we can really try to, not try because my unit knows I hate that word try. We can make sure that we figure out different things, strategies that we can implement that will carry us not only through these challenging times, but into the future, making us better women, family members, business owners, community members, etc. Okay? So just a couple of things. So I know that Jen O did such a great job with the feelings. And, the concept of fear, which is, we feel it and then it starts to make our mind go crazy, right? And so fear, what is fear? The acronym, Jen loves acronyms, and this is a real acronym. Like I think it might even be in the dictionary. Fear is false evidence appearing real, right? And so one of the things that happens when we get fearful is we go into flight, fight, or freeze mode because we just don't even know what to do. Okay, so here's the thing about that. We will survive, and we need to logically say to ourselves, we're going to get through this and this will be behind us. And so that's something that even if, the little mustard seed, the faith as much as a mustard seed, even if you're really not feeling like you believe that, like you're stuck in this forever and this is never going to end, you can self-talk and tell yourself. And a lot of the time, talking out loud, then you'll hear it and your brain processes it differently. So say it out loud. Go in a bathroom and talk softly. Call a positive friend that you can talk it out. Call your director that you can talk it out. I'm getting an internet connection message, so hopefully you guys are hearing me. Okay, so here is a really, really cool thing to think about in terms of, I just don't want to feel this way and I just don't want to be having these negative thoughts. A way to make ourselves feel happy, okay, because I think most people like to feel happy. This is a tiny little trick that is powerful, and that is progress makes us feel happy. And it doesn't need to mean results. It's the progress. It's the forward moving progress, little itty bitty steps that make us feel happy. So for instance, my gym is closed. I'm doing yoga, which I've never done before in my life, and it's pretty stinking funny. But whenever I do the yoga session, I feel like, okay, I've made some kind of progress of getting some oxygen flowing in my body. So it's just little tiny things that we can do. All right. So then this is the other thing. When we think about the world and things we can't control, I want you to think about the word respond. So how we respond is something we can control. And so we can also exercise how we respond to things. We can practice reaction versus responding. Reaction is often, instant and kind of knee-jerk. And so if you feel like I'm not happy with how I've been reacting, take a journal and start writing out, like, this happened and this is what I do, and here are the results. So for instance, if something happens that gets you angry, frustrated, depressed, whatever that is, write that out and say, okay, this is kind of what happened. This is how I reacted, and here's the results. And usually when we react, the results aren't awesome. So if we can take a breath and take a step back and give ourselves a little bit of a window of time to kind of calm down, and we respond more proactively, typically the results are much better, okay? So that's just a little bit of kind of figuring out sort of how to work with your mind, okay? There are a lot of videos or podcasts or articles that you can read to help you think positively, even in times of crises, okay? If you feel like you're really struggling with thinking positively and you don't even know where to go and you're frozen, flight, fight, or freeze, ask your director. We can give you specific things to listen to, specific things to fill your mind. One visual that I like to have when I'm struggling with kind of my brain not going where I want it to go is I figure I'm going to fill it with positivity and push out the negativity. So I literally like have this visual. So the more percentage of my brain that can be filled with positivity and pushing out the negative, because then there isn't as much room for it. So I just want to encourage you to truly practice working on that. You know, and the term worry, like what do we say about worry versus faith? And worry is the opposite of faith. Here's why worry. This is pretty profound. Okay, you're ready? Write this down. This is profound. The reason people say worry is so much more than actually what happens. When we worry about things, they are way worse than the reality of things. Are you ready for why? Because we cannot take action when we're worrying. When the issue happens, then we can strategize, we can take action, we can take steps. And guess what we're doing when we're doing that? Progress, right? So truly we feel better when we're doing that than when we're sitting and just worrying about what could happen. So why waste our time on worry? Because we can't take action. I'm activator in my 5 strengths, by the way, so it really is especially big for me, probably. But yeah, so, okay, I have an acronym. So this is something I want you to think about in terms of dealing with others, friends, clients, family, everyone, as everybody navigates differently, as everybody processes differently. The word is grace. So we want to give everyone grace, and we want to give ourselves grace. Okay? So here's the acronym for G. Generous with our love. To ourselves, to everyone else. Generous with our love. So when in doubt, generous with our love. Respond, don't react is R. Respond, don't react. A is adaptable. Be adaptable. Learning to be adaptable helps us navigate almost anything, okay? How about C for compassion? Can you have compassion for others? Can you imagine yourself in somebody else's shoes and what they might be going through? So having compassion, have compassion for yourself. Say, look, this is crazy. These are crazy times. And yeah, I know I'm not supposed to have that chocolate chip cookie, but I'm going to have it. Have compassion for yourself. And then E is just empathetic, and be empathetic towards others, because we just can't go wrong that way, as long as, you know, obviously we kind of limit it, but limit it to the fact that it doesn't affect you too much. And I also encourage you to just do fun things like watch some comedy, you know, laugh. My kids actually if you have kids, ask your kids, what's a good, clean comedian? Because they might watch things that, so our Nicholas is always watching comedians, and he was telling me about somebody last night, which I didn't write it down, so I don't know who it is, but you can always ask me to ask Nicholas, because he always has kind of a pulse on good comedians, and he knows what would be like mom friendly, okay? But I also have, let me just see, I'm gonna read you a verse that is the most underlined verse in the Bible, by the way. Does that get your attention? Yes, so that's fun. I'm gonna read you a verse, and then right when I'm done, I'm gonna give you guys a tech tip, quick tech tip that everybody can run and use. Yes, Jen, even you, that everybody can use, and it will help every single one of you. A tech tip, okay? And it's quick. Kathy's laughing at me. I see her. She's laughing at me and she's 2 doors away, and that's just funny. Okay, so here is the most underlined verse in the Bible. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. And that's Philippians 4, 6, and 7. Okay, so that's your scripture verse. All right, here's the tech tip. I'm just going to hold up a paper and show you guys. It's actually so easy, your mind might be blown. But I bet most of you don't know it. Okay, you ready? When you send a link with an e-catalog, actually, Jen, you probably do know this, but when you send a link with your e-catalog, you go into InTouch. Or, no, you don't go. You go to marykay.com and your website, okay? So go to marykay.com and your website, /LASEF is mine. And when you go into e-catalog and you go to hit the little box at the bottom, like let's say you're on your phone and you have the box with the arrow coming out of it. So it looks like that, okay? And that's how you can forward a link. When you forward that e-catalog link, it doesn't have your website in it. It's just a generic, it defaults to a generic link. Okay, and I actually think this happens on any product, anything on your website that you want to forward. If you take that link and edit it, so you copy the link and paste it, and then you'll see it on your computer screen, and you add your specific website right after the marykay.com. So you could just pop your cursor there, type in your specific website. Jen's taking a picture, hold on. And then add your personal name or whatever your website is called. Stick it in there, and then it will link to your specific page. So I send products that way. I send the e-catalog that way. Play with it. Okay, Jen, her mind is blown. It's easy. Like once you play with it, and this is going to be very, very valuable, because even if you're mailing the lookbook, people don't know where it is, you know, send them the link. And so I hope that helps.
Wow, did not know that. I actually always say to them, this is going to take you to a generic website. So now we know. There we go. There we go. There we go. Leave it to Laura to give us the most underlined quote from the Bible. So thank you for that. And yes, for sure, you know, her strategies come from being well-rounded just as a woman and a human. And she's very valuable. And again, I know would make herself available to you through Voxer conversation or whatever you need. So, you know, feel free to reach out. Okay, so having another giveaway while Sherry Q gets ready. So let me get my app. And somebody asked what the app is. I use an app just called Lucky Raffle. It's free. I'm sure there's a million out there. So hold on. Load saved list. My last load list. Okay, so I'm going to start it. Here it goes. Here it goes. It's spinning. It's spinning. And when it stops, I hit it. And the winner is, who is it? Carla again. All right, so Carla, I'm going to send you something awesome, but I'm going to pick a different winner too, okay? Just so they don't all come attack Carla. All right, so let's try again here. Load saved list. And if it's Carla again, she's going to go to the store and buy all of us a lottery ticket. All right, hold on. Hold on, of course I have to have technical glitch. Maya. Okay, Maya's the winner this time. All right, I'm taking screenshots to send. So Carla will get an extra bonus, but we added Maya as well. Okay, all right. So, and just so you know, we do have this timed. I'm going last so that we can make sure everything, so we do end at noon like we promised you, regardless of how this goes, okay? So next up is my Sherry Q. Sherry Q is definitely a gift that you all can definitely pray for and ask for, because she called me to join, telling me how much inventory she would start with and what she would do with the business. But she did find something that I did know, and that is that faces will take you more places beyond just being an amazing salesperson and having an amazing network of people. And now she does work this business super smart. She's a phenomenal trainer because she loves the information. She knows that this business is mathematical and it is statistic based. It is not magical. Sherry knows that and believes that. So she is going to bring to you, know your stats. Okay, Sherry Q.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to talk quickly because I have a lot to cover in my 15 minutes. And if anyone has any questions after today, please feel free to Facebook Messenger me or Vox me, and I will answer anything that you have. I'm going to try to go through, I don't know if you'll be able to see this that great or not, but I'm using my daughter's In Touch. It's her In Touch, just to kind of navigate you through In Touch and your reports. So how many of you right now pay attention to where you are exactly? That is super, super important. Anywhere you want to go in this business, you need to know your stats. Unfortunately, a few seminars ago, I missed out on a really, really cool invitation-only luncheon. I missed earning it by $116. I was really sad. I didn't even realize it. Jen Albertini's the one that told me. So after that happened, I usually did pay attention, but after that happened, I'm on it all the time. So what you're gonna do is log on to your In Touch site. You're going to go under Business Tools. When you click on Business Tools, you are then going to click on My Business. You then can click At a Glance. And when you're looking at your At a Glance, it's going to give your name. Like here it says Alexis Podolsky, SC. That means she is a senior consultant. It then gives all of the information that you need, your start date, your consultant number, your career status, and your previous status the month prior in Mary Kay. It will give you your seminar affiliation, which is Ruby. And if you could, Jen, let me know if my bird is too loud. He likes to talk when I talk. I covered him because he was ridiculous while everybody was talking. But it gives your seminar affiliation, which is Ruby. And then you can scroll down. It will tell you, it reminds you to enroll your customers. It'll say my personal action items. Enroll your customers by April 17th into the summer edition of the lookbook. It then gives you your seminar year to date, like your wholesale. Actually, your personal production, okay? It will tell you new team members. It will tell you qualified team members. You can then click on the next tab over in that is opportunities. So when you click on opportunities, it's going to tell you your career growth, which for Alexis's case, it says you ended the month as a senior consultant. You could possibly finish the month as a star team builder with 2 additional active team members. That's really, really key, because if you are just 1 active team member away from being in your red jacket, you can go through your consultant list and see who you can help to reactivate by helping her, have a party, do a class, get her to work with a lookbook and some samples to take some orders to help get her active so that you will have your 3 team members to be in red. When I submitted for DIQ this last year, I was just looking at my reports and I was like, you know what? I have 5 active team members. I think I could possibly round up 3 more to have my 8. And that's how it happened, just by paying attention to my report. You can also track your STAR consultant, what you have in wholesale. It will tell you currently have X amount of dollars in STAR consultant credit. You need X amount of dollars in personal production to achieve Sapphire Star. So you can keep track of it that way, so that you know where you stand. You can also track your Court of Personal Sales to achieve Princess Court or Queen's Court of Sharing. You can track your Court of Sharing actually too, so that you know how many people you are away from achieving that goal. So all of the goals that you set for yourself, these reports are going to help you get there. I remember when I was in my red jacket, once I got there, I never once fell out of my red jacket. And that was because I paid attention to my reports. If you see that you have a consultant, you can go to your consultant list, okay? So let's go to the list. Alexis is doing poorly this month, by the way. We got to fix that. Alexis has 1 team member, okay? And her 1 team member is active. It says A2 by her name. So A2 means she is currently in active 2nd month status. But just by looking at your consultant list and looking at the heading and seeing how many consultants are on your team. If you have A3 consultants on your team this month, reach out to them, work with them to keep their active status. See what you can do. Maybe have a virtual Facebook Live party. The group that Jen and Laura have going, I know Jen and myself and Alyssa have a group going. There's lots of things that, both groups will be doing this month. So take advantage of that. And, you could possibly have a really great month team-wise. It will also tell you if you have someone who is inactive. And that's basically what I try to do is look at my consultant list, see who's inactive, and again, try to help them get active. T status. It will show if anyone is in T status, which means that they're on their way to being terminated. Again, try to work with that person, before they're T7, and then would have to rejoin. Let's see. Okay, so reports. Let's go to reports. It actually is a tab, says reports, and then you can see everything here that's listed. So one of the things is great start tracking. You can see exactly where you are or where your team members are and how long they have left to become Great Start qualified. So again, with yourself, you can work toward that goal of becoming Great Start qualified, or if you have team members, you can help them work toward that goal of being Great Start. Star consistency, Star consultant tracking, Court of Sales, Court of Sharing, and then if there is something coming up, like Career Conference was coming up, so you can click on the Career Conference report And that is going to show you exactly where you're at with earning, the various awards. It will say number of months that you received the bee jewelry. It will say if you've earned the luncheon with Personal Great Start Qualified. It will say how many you have, so then you'll know how many more you need to be able to earn that. So by basically living by these reports, that's going to get you where you need to be in your business. So if you don't pay attention to the reports now, start every morning. Just make a pact with yourself. And every morning when you get up and check your email, log on to your In Touch, click on your reports, and just see where you're at and see where your team members are. Those of you that do have a team, you can check your production that way as well. Go through my notes here if I missed anything. Okay, so if you haven't paid attention, what I want you to do is I want everybody to box me exactly what level on the career path you are and tell me your goal of what level in the career path you want to become. And I'm going to tell all of your directors so they'll know who they need to be working with. But this is really key and super, super important. And I didn't realize that in the beginning of my business because I wasn't in this business to sell or to do anything with it. And it just happened. But once I started earning prizes, you know, I was like, okay, I'm really going to pay attention to this now. And I've gotten a lot of great star prizes over the years. I just ordered the patio umbrella. I know Alyssa did too. We're super excited. Can't wait till it gets here. But any questions that you guys may have on tracking, using the reports, I know when you go into the My Business with the business tools, okay, so if you go into My Business, it will say helpful tools at the very top of the banner. Click on that. Click on the helpful tools. There's how-to video that will show you, and then there are supporting materials, okay, that will give you the activity status codes so that you'll understand where each of your team members are. There's also career level codes since they've changed them, and they're much easier now to see or know where your people are than the old codes. But there's a bunch of info here on that could basically help you navigate through all of your reports.
Okay, all right. So how about Sherry Q pulling out the task for everyone there? Leave it to Sherry Q to give everyone a task. So find her on Boxer or find her on Facebook. If you don't have the Boxer app, find her on Facebook. She wants you to tell her your name and your current status. Like, are you a consultant, a senior consultant, a star team builder, etc., and what your goal is this seminar year.
Yep.
Right, Cher?
Yep.
Right, Cher, where you're going to be. Okay. All right. So it is all about growth. So that is very, very important. And like Sherry said, you know, she wasn't really sure. She's had several successful businesses, still has several successful businesses, but she got a little taste of winning, Mary Kay style. And really, that's a secret. Let me tell you a little secret. If you just win everything, you will accidentally continue to grow and go in this business. So that is the way it's set up. Mary Kay wanted to give prizes that women would work for, okay? That was the philosophy behind the Star Prize and so many other things. Okay, all right, so next up is none other than my Alyssa O. Yes, she is my daughter, not on a tax return ever. That's a whole nother story, but she is my first Mary Kay daughter, who happens to be eerily similar to my first real life birthed daughter. So many of you have known Alyssa for a while because she's been hanging around with me for a while. She is pregnant with baby number 4, if you do not already know that about Alyssa. So we are on hashtag third row for baby O. That is our mission right now. And Alyssa is a combination of a lot of what you've just seen. I tend to find that she is emotionally driven, but she also can compartmentalize and pull it together with the facts and the figures. So when I asked her, what do you think you want to share? While navigating through being a brand new homeschool mom, kids that have had a stomach virus and shared it with each other and her several times, a husband who is continuing to go out and work. I think he's still working where he isn't around a lot of people, because he does a lot of kind of behind the scenes construction things where he doesn't have to be in crowds. And of course, running a very, very successful unit as a top unit in our future national area. So Alyssa O is going to bring to you adding the personal touch. Take it away.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay, perfect. So, and I'm loud too. So if you have someone in the room with you, they're probably like, who's that girl? I can't help it. I'm just loud. And I just want to say that this morning I am drinking out of my Royal Caribbean Cruise free refill cup. So for those of us who were cruising together, I'm thinking of you as I sip my lemon water and wishing that we were still in the sunny Bahamas, even though I didn't get to enjoy it the way that I would right now. But I am drinking out of my cup. Positive vibes, right? So, okay. So I'm training on adding the personal touch, and I am going to train on that, but I had to throw a couple thoughts in first, okay? Because I feel like if I don't throw them in, talking about adding the personal touch isn't going to make a whole lot of sense. So I just want to really, hold on a second. Okay, I just want to be able to see myself. Don't mind my lip. My husband said it looks like I have a mole. I told him he's a jerk because I'm like having an eczema thing. So it's not a mole. It's a bloody lip. But anyway, so everything that we face, right, like in life, okay, is either something that's happened in the past, or it's something that is going to happen in the future. Okay. So kind of like Laura was saying, if we just worry all the time, we're worrying about what might happen in the future, or we're reacting to what's already happened. And so we don't want to live a life of just constantly anticipating that. Okay. But we do want to be smart, and anticipate that we are going to come out of what's going on right now. Okay. And so we have to learn how to win when things are changing all the time, because it doesn't matter if it was what's going on right now. It could be what's going on 6 months from now. There have been times I'll be in this business a decade in July. And you guys, there's been times that things have changed and life ebbs and flows. If you hopped on the Inner Circle story time, they talked about how they had to come out of 9/11. Like, there was big things. So we've been through something like this before. And like Laura said, if you just attach to the reality of we've gone through tough times before, and we will come out of this just like we did before. There's people in Mary Kay who went through, all the economic things that happened in 2008. And so just know that we are in this business, and I think it's the best business that we could be in for the times. There is no other opportunity. And I honestly believe that with my whole heart. There is no other opportunity or company, a direct selling company even, that will give their consultants the opportunity that we have. Okay. And I really do believe that. And so we're learning how to win when things are changing all the time. That's actually a Gloria Mayfield Banks quote, if you like her. And we have to bring our best all the time. Okay. So now I might have said that and you're like, oh God, like Alyssa, my best has not been good. Listen, my best this week, let me tell you about my best. So here's what I'm thinking about bringing my best. I'm thinking about bringing my best as a homeschooling mom. the homeschooling mom who could not cook hard-boiled eggs yesterday, and our science experiment failed, to which I had to write to Owen's teacher, sorry, science experiment failed, but we did find it on YouTube so that my child could see how it was actually supposed to work. But I brought my best. I did the best next step. I called my dad. Dad, how do you make a hard-boiled egg? I don't know. Dan's usually in charge of that at Easter time. That's the only time I cook hard-boiled eggs. Well, he cooks hard-boiled eggs. I don't cook. It doesn't bring me joy. Didn't bring me joy yesterday. But I brought my best, right? I did the next best logical step. I called my dad. I followed his directions. It didn't go well, but hey, I put my best foot forward, right? My best with my husband. Okay, sometimes that's hard, especially if your husband's home all the time right now, or your significant other and you're not used to spending that much time with them, right? You're like, okay, I'm gonna figure out how to bring my best and how to show up. So like, for example, last night, we're sitting on the couch and my husband says to me, now we started this project of painting our all of our trim in our hallway about 2 weeks ago, which and our doors to our bedrooms, which required all new doorknobs. Well, there's 6 total doors in the hallway. 3 of them have doorknobs. Everything's painted, but only 3 currently have doorknobs. Why? Because he just didn't put the other 3 on yet. That's driving Alyssa bananas every time she walks through the hallway. So last night, he's sitting on the couch and he says, you know what? Tomorrow, we should clean out the garage. And I said, don't you think we should put the doorknobs on first for the last project? And he was like, well, I guess you're right. And then I went to bed and I woke up this morning and I was like, you know what? He has never once suggested that we clean the garage. So let's compromise. So when he woke up, he came down here while this was playing, and he came in and I said, I decided on a compromise. Today, we'll clean the garage later, and tomorrow, you'll put all the doorknobs on, right? So it's like just figuring it out. It's the compromise. And then it's with your business, okay? This week, I had a consultant say to me, I really got to get my butt in gear. I was like, girl, we've all been a hot mess. This week has been one hot mess. Businesses are open. Businesses are closed. My kids are home. My kids have all this work to do. I don't know how to do it. I lack patience. Like, it's just a hot mess, and it's okay to be a hot mess. But you just have to bring your best in that situation at all times, okay? Next, I want to tell you that hope, okay, you might want to write this down. Hope is being able to see the light despite the darkness, okay? Hope is being able to see the light despite the darkness. And I believe, okay, that it's in times like these when we get to choose to be the light. We choose to be the light. And so, and when we choose to be the light, I mean an authentic light at that. So what do I mean by that? I mean that we have to be our authentic self all the time. I feel like I'm a super transparent person. If you're in my unit or you've been an adoptee in my unit, you've known when we would have meetings at my house and you would come to my house, there was no other option but for transparency because you could hear my life upstairs, right? And so, I just think that that's so important because we're not always good all the time, okay? And that's okay. And it's okay to share that. And it's okay to be authentic in that. And it's okay to share from our experiences because that's how we become the light to other people. That's how we let them know, like, hey, girl, you're having a really hard time with this right now. It's okay. Like, I've had hard times before, and here's how I've gotten through that. And that's how you can be the light. Okay. So now, before we talk about adding personal touch, I have some questions, and I just want to change my view quick so I can see all your beautiful faces. Okay, so raise your hand in the air if you are a red. One more time. So if you're a red, raise your hand, give a big wave. Woohoo! Okay, there go our reds. If you're a senior consultant and you have 1 or more active team members, raise your hand. I want to see you proud. There's Pam. Hey, Pam. Hey, Marissa B. Okay. How many of you, just raise your hand if you want to have leadership as a senior or a red or a director. Raise your hand if you ever see yourself doing that. Okay. Now, just raise your hand if you're passionate about our company's mission of enriching women's lives. All hands should be raised. Woo! Okay. All right. So here's the deal, you guys. If you are passionate about our mission, now is the time for you to be the light. Now, there's no better time than now, because what you do right now is going to inspire, and it's going to empower, and it's going to lead you with momentum through the next year and beyond. Trust me when I say that, okay? Now, if you've been called to lead, there is this one speech, and I think it's kind of famous, and it's a sales director. Her name is Amy Kemp. Her mom was a national, now she's an emeriti, Jeannie Martin. And in Amy's speech, she says, if you have been called to lead, then for God's sake, lead. Right now, if you have been called to lead, if you're sitting there as a senior consultant, wanting to be a senior consultant, in a red jacket, wanting to be a red jacket, wanting to be a sales director, that means that God has placed something on your heart and he's calling you to leadership. And if you are being called, then for God's sake, for his sake, please lead. Because right now, especially, is when people need you. They need you. There's a reason that you've been called to lead, okay? And so what does that have to do with adding the personal touch? I'm going to bring it all together, all right? So if you've been called to lead, you guys, now is when the personal touch of checking in with every single person on your team happens. It's the I care, like, hey, how are you? What's going on? This is what I have going on. I just wanted to see what you have going on. How are you doing? Invite your team to join what you're doing. Invite them to do what your unit's doing. And make sure that they know that the Zoom is happening. Make sure that they're tuning into your meetings Zoom now that it's probably virtual right now, okay? Like, you have to, when they sign their beauty agreement and you're their recruiter, they had that expectation of you that you were going to lead them. Now, yes, you're sales directors. That's our job too. But they look to you too as the person who said, hey, I love this business. Come along with me. See what it's all about. It's the best culture. You have to continue to cultivate that even once they're on your team and let them know that you care. So now's the time that you're doing that. As leaders, as sales directors, for us, I think sometimes, consultants see us like everything's always, butterflies and rainbows. Well, trust us, this past week, it's not been all butterflies and rainbows for probably every single one of us. But do you know what happens? We have much shorter pity parties for ourselves, or we react more proactively and a lot faster. So what does that mean? It means that when I'm down, I'm like really quick to reach out to somebody who I know is going to bring me up. Okay. I'm really quick to reach out to my sales director girlfriends because they won't let me be down for too long. Okay. And so everybody has stuff. So if you're sitting there and you're like, but I have stuff, so does everybody else. You can still be the light. So here's how you can add personal touch. Number one way that you can do that is by, this isn't like the number one, but the first way that you can do that is by writing notes, okay? Handwritten communication is seen in the world as one of the most valuable forms of communication. It means that someone took the time to sit down with a pencil and a paper and write your name. I just got something in the mail yesterday from Jen Albertini with something for my kids, and they were so excited about getting that. Because why? Because they, even as children, they know that somebody took the time to write their name on a card and to give them a gift. Guys, that means something. So I'm not just saying with your customers, like, write your family members notes. Do you have elderly family members who are probably really scared right now because they don't want to go out? How can you add that personal touch? Write them a note. Hey, thinking of you, like, whatever you want to do. That is so important and it's so valued. And so write notes to your customers, to your team, to your family, to your friends. Handwritten communication is something that people will think about. They will save those, okay? Because it came from you and you thought of them. All right, so another way that you can add personal touch is shooting shooting a quick eye care text. So just saying, hey, how are you? Thinking of you. Have a goal. Maybe shoot 2 eye care texts out a day. Again, customers, family, friends, like just check in with people, see how they're doing. That's what makes us stand out as a person, not just as a business person or as an entrepreneur. Okay. All right. So before I get into the last thing that I'm going to share, there's this this quote. I read it at all the beginning of all my beauty sessions, and it says it's by Leah Laughlin, National Sales Director Leah Laughlin, and it says, "In Mary Kay, we believe women don't need makeup or great skincare to be beautiful. We believe women are beautiful and valuable with or without it. We use our products to enhance a woman's beauty and confidence that she already has to help her shine more. We believe in community and connectedness, and that women are better together. There is such a rise in loneliness, anxiety, and depression, so we want to create a space where women connect to celebrate one another and their unique beauty." Okay? I'm telling you that because I want you to see that as what you have to offer people right now. I want you to see that that's what your business can provide. We are much more than a miracle set. We are much more than a lipstick. We provide hope to people in all different situations, not just at this time, okay? So if you're in my unit, raise your hand. Raise your hand. Okay, you guys are going to be like, la, 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 la. I can't believe she's talking about this again because I'm so sick of hearing her say it, but I don't care. You obviously, everyone needs to keep hearing me say this. The number one way, get a pen, get a pencil, write it really big. The number one way to add your personal touch is, are you ready for it? Drum roll. Your voice. It's you. It's you and you and you and you and you and you and you. It's your voice, okay? And some of you are going to be like, oh my God, Alyssa, I hate my voice. Guess what? I hate my voice too, but whatever. It's okay. All right? Like, this is the voice God gave you. Embrace that because it ain't going anywhere. And just reach out with your voice. With your voice. So, you guys, reaching out with your voice is going to make all the difference. Just ask my unit. If you're in my unit, raise your hand if changing to adding your personal voice to your reach out has made a difference in your business, in your bookings, right? Yeah, okay. It's made all of the difference. And so here's what I want you to understand. We need to stand out in the crowd. We need to. We have to stand out in the crowd. Why do we have to stand out in the crowd? Because how many of you have been getting invited to Pampered Chef virtual parties and Osborne Books personal parties and like all of these other things that are going on? What makes us different is that we have the ability, I mean, they do too, but they're not using it. We have the ability to use our personal voice to make connections. This business, this company, 57 years ago when Mary Kay started it, it was built around a kitchen table. And we are still able to provide that kitchen table experience, even when it's a virtual experience. Even, when we're doing our reach outs, just because we're not making calls on a phone that's connected to the wall with a cord, we still can add that personal touch. And so stand out in the crowd. So an example of personal touch, I'm going to tell you about a personal touch I did yesterday. So a Facebook friend of mine had posted on her Facebook that she was experiencing a lot of postpartum anxiety with everything going on. And she was going to, hop off of social media for a little while because she just had a baby and everything that's going on is just sending her into a spiral. And so I hopped on Messenger. And this is what I do. I'm going to teach you how to send voice messages in case you didn't know. So I hopped on Messenger, and don't judge my phone. Yes, my screen is cracked, but don't worry. It's just the outside part of my screen. So I just hopped on Facebook Messenger, and there's a little microphone button right there, okay? Right next to where you send a message, and you hold it in, and you can only record for 1 minute or less, okay? So I was 59 seconds, I just made it. And she listened to it, she didn't respond. But I just clicked on that microphone button as soon as I read her post, and I just said, hey, Mary, it's Alyssa. We used to work together. And I said, hey, I just saw your Facebook post, and, you know, I just want you to know that I'm thinking of you. I'm praying for you. I've been in your position with postpartum anxiety, and I understand how hard that is. And I just want you to know that one of the biggest things that helped me during that time was self-care. And if you want, I could send you a little self-care package. If not, that's okay too. But I just want you to know that I'm praying for you, and I know that you're going to get through this time. Now, how many other Facebook friends do you think took the time to say her name and address her, not in the comments section of her post, but actually privately address her? That's one way to add personal touch through your voice, okay? Then you have your bookings, right? So we're all doing virtual stuff for the most part right now, okay? And so when you're booking, I tell my consultants, I'm like, guys, if I say here's a script and you copy that and you send it to people, I'm unfriending you. Okay, you're not allowed to do that anymore. No, I'm just kidding. But I say to them, you need to use your voice. Take this and make it yours. They need to hear the inflection. They need to hear the excitement. Your excitement transfers the best through your voice. Your feelings transfers the best through your voice. So whatever script you're using to book, I challenge you to take that and make it into your voice. Now, if you're nervous to do that, you guys, there's the feature on Facebook Messenger. And I have a whole thread of a conversation with myself. And I will send a voice message to myself so that I can make sure I don't sound super salesy and that I just sound like I'm having a regular old conversation with somebody. And I'll record it there. And when you do that, what you can do is there's these 3 little dots right here. Press that and you can share it to anybody. So if you're afraid to leave it right there for them in their message chat, leave it to yourself and then forward it to them. It looks exactly the same. I've tested it. I know many of you have been using this. It doesn't look like a forwarded message, okay? And then last but not least, how many touches? When you're talking about booking, it's 5 touches. And so 80% of your connections are going to happen after 5 touches. All right. That's not just in Mary Kay. That's just in the world, like sales, anything. It's 5 touches. 80% of your connections happen after 5. So what do those 5 touches look like? It's 1 voice, 1 text. So maybe today you're sitting down and you're doing your virtual appointment reach outs. You're going to send them your voice first. Then you're going to send them after that sends, and you can send voice text messages too. Then you're going to send a text that just says like, hey, just sent you a voice message. So excited for you to listen to it. Message me back when you do. Then like give it a couple days, like 3 days or so, and do another voice reach out. Hey, Jen Albertini, just hoping that you got my message. I'm really excited about this hydrogel beauty session that I'm doing next week on my virtual group. So I wanted to see if you wanted me to send you a package, and then a text to follow up with that. So that's 4. And then your last one is your voice. And it's just saying, hey, Jen, I didn't hear back from you, which honestly, I have to say is really unusual that you didn't respond. So I'm a little worried that I hope everything's okay. But hey, if this is just not a good time for you to participate in anything that I have going on, girl, that's totally fine. I'll reach out to you. Done. I've set the expectation, like, listen, tell me that either everything's fine or you just don't want to hear from me, or you're going to hear from me again in 2 months. Not to be rude, but because people's lives change, okay, all the time. And that's it. That's all I have.
Okay, once again, I could not write fast enough. But it's recorded, so that's a good thing. The recording is still going. I paid to have this service to record this full thing, and I'm glad it worked out. So, and Alyssa just helped me come up with the final challenge of this Zoom. So thank you for that, Alyssa O. And I'm about to tie something together with Alyssa O at the very close. But before I do that, I'm going to do my part, which is my training. And I'm going to cut it a little bit short, but this is definitely something that if anything I say moves you, and if you were at the getaway, we did explore this a little bit more in depth, but this is something I am hugely passionate about. So should you want to set up a one-on-one call or a one-on-one Zoom or FaceTime, I 100% will find the time to do that with you. So feel free to reach out to me. But my topic is actually titled Releasing the Pounds, LBs, okay? Because releasing the pounds, although my family has a meme going around saying, try on your jeans every couple of days because you're only fooling yourself. So, and here's another truth, ready? Total transparency. Here's Jen Albertini from the waist up. Here's Jen Albertini from the waist down with her jammies on, with coffee cups on her jammies. Anybody else only half dressed today? Okay, yay. So these are the facts of the day. We are releasing the LBs, releasing the pounds. They might not come off on the scale, but they're going to come off of the emotion, because I want to talk to you about the two biggest limiting beliefs that are stopping you, okay? And those two biggest limiting beliefs are, number one, I don't know enough people, and number two, I don't have enough time. They are both fake. They are not true. I refuse to believe either one for myself, and I refuse to believe either one for you. So I'm going to give you strategies. But again, there could be a world of other limiting beliefs going on in the 6 inches between your ears, and I would be happy to help you work through them. This is a passion for me, and it truly was a turning point in my career and, quite honestly, in my life, okay? So number one, I don't know enough people. So here's my question. Really? And I will tell you, people that I worked with moving up, I will tell them, you can contact your Facebook people, or I will contact your Facebook people. Because if you know people well enough to share memes with and share this positivity and all this other stuff, there are probably hundreds of women in just your social media connection that you have not connected with. So the real facts are not that you don't know enough people. The real facts are you are afraid of rejection. You are afraid to ask her, like my scary neighbor, or you have already made up your mind that she uses brand X. She already wears makeup. She never wears makeup. She probably doesn't wash anything on herself, which if that's the case, you might want to leave her alone. But in general, the problem is not knowing enough people. The problem is you stopping you, okay? So how do we overcome that? Well, number one, my question to you is, are you truly sold out, all in, invested, that the products you are offering these women are the best? Have you not found products that have changed the complexion of your world? No pun intended. Have you not? If you have not, if you're sitting there going, no, I really don't get it, they're fine, you need to connect with your sales director because you're using the wrong products, girlfriend, okay? These products change texture. They change visually. They change breakouts. They change fine lines. We joke with you, but guaranteed you would not be able to pinpoint the ages of the sales directors who just talked, because we've been using the product so long. And I'm not just talking about glamour. I'm talking about the change, the chemical, physical changes of anti-aging. Yesterday, I could feel myself aging, the process of myself aging, just from this week. Like Alyssa said, it was a big week. So you know what I did? I charcoal masked, I revealing radiance peeled, whatever the heck it's called. I took time to take care of myself. You know why? Because now that I'm in love and I'm remembering, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I really see a difference. Do you guys see a difference? Like I'm feeling I'm feeling brighter. I'm feeling, and this is the energy that I want to transfer to women. When I believe in something, I am not afraid to talk about it. You know what I can talk about all day? I could talk about the fact that I prefer Dunkin' Donuts coffee over Starbucks coffee. I will set a goal to sell you I'm going to Dunkin' over Starbucks for coffee. Starbucks has other great things, don't get me wrong, but when I'm passionate about something, when I believe about something, I will sell you on the power of anytime you walk into Target, be prepared, you're going to buy more than you walked in there for. I can sell you on that, okay? I can sell you on a lot of things that I'm passionate about. So if you're afraid to talk to people, the checkup that needs to happen is you need to fall in love with the products and this business opportunity. Do you know all about the Mary Kay Foundation, the money that we put towards cancers that affect women research, the ending domestic violence, the helping people? You know what's going to come out of the world that we live in right now is families, and women are usually a part of a family. Families are going to need more. They're going to need more financial resources. They're going to need more community resources. And you know who's going to be at the forefront? Your Mary Kay sales force, us all the way up to corporate. Do you know that when Hurricane Katrina ravaged New Orleans, Mary Kay was one of the first responders with our private transportation system to get people over to Texas to take care of people. Do you know that? Do you know that whenever there's a tragedy, whenever there's a national tragedy that happens and active Salesforce members need to get back to work, Mary Kay sends many of them another free full-size starter kit so that we can start making money right away. So just like Alyssa said, and if you're listening to the National Sales Director's stories, it's a different thing, but the emotions, a lot of what we're going through, we've already been through and we've persevered. So stop convincing yourself that you don't know enough people. Take ownership of the weight of the fact that you just haven't opened yourself up with the belief and the power of positivity that is packed inside your starter kit and packed inside your voice, just like Alyssa O'Neill said. So number 2, the next biggest limiting belief is you don't have enough time. So I'm not going to do my 168 hours speech. If you need that from me, let me know, and I can certainly share it with you privately, because we all have the same amount of time in a week. That is not the problem. The problem is that you have not made your Mary Kay business a priority. Now, again, I am not grazing over the situation of wherever you be right now today. I'm talking about from today to tomorrow to 2 months to 6 months to 2 years from now, because not having enough time was an objection that I heard 3 weeks ago and 6 weeks ago and 6 months ago. And again, it is just simply not true. You can tell the truth and say, I am not prioritizing my Mary Kay business. That is fine, and that is acceptable and respectable. But if you want to use this business as a business, whether it be to be the light, whether it be for income production, whether it be to make a difference in your community, whatever you're looking for right now, you need to get real, okay? So I'm going to give you a little bit of a different strategy that I haven't trained on in quite a while. And what you're going to do is you're going to take a blank piece of paper and make it into 4 squares. So a big plus sign, okay? You're going to do that, okay? And in the upper left-hand corner, so the upper left-hand corner, you're going to write the word important and urgent. Important and urgent. And in the square beside that, you're going to put important but not urgent. Important but not urgent. In this lower square, you're going to put not important but urgent. Not important but urgent. And in the final square, you're going to put not important, not urgent. Okay? So those are your 4 quads. So if you really need to dig a little bit deeper with finding time, of course, there's the 6 most important things list. Of course, there's a lot of ways to track yourself. But if you wake up every day and rank things into those quads, you will then visibly see where you need to put your energy. So important and urgent. Important and urgent. What that means is it's an emergency. It's often unforeseen and it needs your full attention. That can be a lot of life happenings. That's going to be things that you wake up to, you know, family members not feeling well, figuring out you're out of something, you know, needing to do something personal. That's for you to decide. But in your Mary Kay world, those things are going to be things that have a deadline, like end of month or end of quarter. Wrapping up your goals, not giving up on your goals. Deciding if it really is truly something you want. Working with new customers. They are important and urgent, because if you lose that immediate connection, you can't make that up. Attending things like this, attending meetings, staying connected is important and urgent. And responding to questions from your director, because here's the facts. She's not just asking you a question because she has nothing else to do. It's to help you with your business. Important but not urgent would be things that are not emergencies but need your personal attention. Those things would be hostess coaching, new team members that you're following up with, getting your orders out to customers. It's not an emergency, but it needs to be urgent because, it's important because it's not urgent, but it's important because if you don't get it out to your customers, they could change their minds. They might go elsewhere. They might think you're out of business. Responding to messages from your director in a mass form. So if she's posting things on Facebook or she's asking questions, that is important. It might not be urgent, but it is important for you to participate. Again, it's not because we have nothing else to do. We're trying to navigate ourselves as well. Placing your Mary Kay orders and communicating with your customers. Those are things that are important but not urgent. So you task them as such. The next section is not important, but it is urgent. And what that would be is something that someone asks of you that you possibly could delegate. So those things might be paperwork. They might be social media where you can schedule those things. They might be doing the Learn MK categories, going on and figure out more things from Learn MK. And just being aware that those things are typically distractions from the other top two categories, okay? And the next one is not important and not urgent. And those are going to be like things when you spend time looking at like what other people are doing. That is not important and not urgent, okay? So again, we can help you set up these categories, but while right now, if you're still in a mindset of figuring things out, if you can break things into those quads, it will show you more realistically where you need to be spending your time, okay? Important things are activities that lead to achieving goals. Urgent things may need immediate attention, but oftentimes they're attached to someone else's goal. So urgent things are things that have to do with your unit, staying connected to that, but the important things are activities that you need to control, personal touch, like Alyssa talked about, okay? All right, so in order to keep this, like I promised, we're gonna close within 2 minutes here, okay? So stay connected with your director. We are connected with each other. Just so you know, Mary Kay Corporate is watching. I've gotten calls twice this week from Mary Kay Corporate that they're still watching the future of our national area. So yay for that. And Allie had a $670 facial yesterday. $670 facial yesterday. She is still focused on being a DIQ April 1st, and Raul from corporate called her excited about that. So trust me when I tell you, they are watching our reports and watching what is going on. So you 100% know that you are not abandoned in this process. We are on the top of the list for corporate to be watching and paying attention to. We, us, the Future All In area. So I'm going to close with a poem. And the poem goes like this. Rainbows appear after mighty storms. When things look their very worst, Just when the skies are darkest gray, look for the rainbow. The rainbow is the sign of God's promise that he will guide us through all our trials, no matter what form they be. Where you feel battered by life's storms and you are filled with doubt or dismay, just remember, God's rainbow will come, for it's only a prayer away. And I want to tell you, when I wrote out my notes, I wrote out that I would like our future All-In National Area to start using the hashtag Be the Light with the rainbow emoji. Be the light with the rainbow emoji. I had no idea that Alyssa O'Neill was going to tie that. And I think Jen O'Connell tied it. We did not cover our notes with each other, but right now, it is the most important time since I've been in this business since 2001. And that means going through 9/11. That means going through the financial crisis of 2008, 2010. That means sicknesses that I've been through, sicknesses that many of you have been through, surgeries, births, deaths, all the things we've needed to cover. But right now, the world needs the light. And through this business, take the money off of the table right now. Just the fact that we breed positivity. That's who we've been since Mary Kay started this company in 1963. And that is, my friends, the challenge to you. So here is how I'm going to close this. Your challenge today is to stay connected to us, to our group, but I want you to send a voice message to your sales director through Facebook Messenger or text or however that Alyssa showed you. Send your voice telling her that you accept the challenge to be the light. She lives to support you. You are my personal why. Thank you forever for all you do, for all you be, and for being such women of excellence. If I can support you in any way, I'm 100% here for you. Air kisses to you, air hugs to you. Huge round of applause to you all as I end the recording. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.